Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Milor24. Today we're going to be looking at money making with contracts and cargo runs in Star Citizen 3.8. This will be my first post-commentary video. I recorded this right after Christmas, and I didn't have my new microphone, which I got now, and so I didn't record my audio feed to that, and just gonna comment now afterwards. We will be covering, besides contracts and cargo runs, crime stat as well, because I had some interesting experiences with that. I made a first run with contracts and cargo runs, and as I was doing this, I was I exploded, and I don't know whether it was my fault or it was a collision. It was during an interdiction with some bad guys. I'm sorry, I really did not record this. I managed to recover the contract package. I lost the whole cargo ship, which I put like my all money on it, because I usually it was a no-brainer, but I did manage to recover the package from the wreck, and so instead of no money, and I could start with like 6k instead of the 19k I had before, which I always start with a new reset. And this is what I started with. So the first part of this are illegal cargo runs. So what you gotta do is check with your mobiGlas your contract managers, and there you see on the personal delivery some really sometimes cryptic things. I'm checking out where these go and where these come from, where I need to pick them up. And the top half contracts go to the orphanage from reclamation and disposal, and the bottom half go to Yella, also from reclamation and disposal, which is quite good. So I can pick up 4 boxes from reclamation and disposal and have to deliver them only to 2 destinations. They all pay pretty well, so I'm gonna accept all 4 of them. As I make my way to Tessa's spaceport, I encounter one of the more funny and not game-breaking bugs. We will find those game-breaking bugs at the end of the video, and I pose as an NPC. I'll be taking the freelancer for both parts. I tried the 300i in the run where I exploded, which I didn't record. I first tried it with a 300i, and unfortunately in 3.8 they changed the way you can pick up packages under your arm when you go up the ladder, and you can't do that anymore, which is a pity because it's far more agile ship, and for delivery missions where you only have to carry a box, you would want to take a smaller ship. But I'll be taking the freelancer for both parts. As I make my way out of the atmosphere, I check the map screen to find out where reclamation and disposal actually is. I was ready to fly to really anywhere in the solar system, because these 4 packages or 4 contracts pay really good. As it turns out, reclamation and disposal is right here on Hurston. These delivery contracts, these illegal delivery contracts, pose 2 challenges. First one is they're illegal, and which we'll run into later. And the second one is, you can see me here trying to look exactly where they are on the planet, is navigation. There are no quantum jump points where you can simply lock in your quantum drive and jump to them. You have to kind of triangulate where they are. So you pick up a spot on a map, and then you look, where can you jump to, which is on a direct line across the outpost you want to jump to, and then you have to drop out of quantum drive by shutting down the engines. You can get pretty close. I still managed to get a bit far away from them, so I'll have to fly a few hundred kilometers to get there. And disposal. I'm constantly scanning my way down in case somebody's there. Luckily this time nobody was there, but you can never be too sure. I get out and immediately put my gun out. There's a small UI glitch. I pick up the first package. Really, you can never be too sure. If someone is around, you have to drop the package and shoot fast. And then I subsequently take the other 3 packages. And on my way out of there as quickly as I arrived. My first destination of choice for drop-off is going to be the orphanage on Lyria, which is a moon of Arcorp. The orphanage is a very charitable name for a crime syndicate outpost. And on my way there, I had my first encounter with a popo. I get interdicted. I tried shutting off my engines, but anyways. So what happened was really interesting. It's a new experience for me. I was really the unsuspected citizen. Earlier, I had a clean sheet, but that's all about to change now.
What is it about your type that makes you think you're above the law?
Well, that didn't go well. I am fined, and so I think I learned something. But in the next situation, you see, I make it way worse. Thinking I got the worst behind me, I resume my way to Lyria, and what are the chances I get interdicted again? But this time, well, if they're gonna find me, I can surely just fly away. They're gonna find me anyway. As I find out later, that was a really, really bad idea. As it turns out, failure to comply is almost 4 times as expensive in fines as the possession of prohibited goods. That's gonna eat massively into my profits. Anyways, I land near the orphanage, drop off my 2 packages, and I'm back on my way to Crusader, specifically Yella, a moon of Crusader, to the stash house. Rinse and repeat, dropping off both packages, no one hiding there, and making decent bank. With this amount of alpha USC, I'll be able to start a full trade run with my freelancer and fill up the cargo. I know from previous versions of Star Citizens that big cities buy resources, so you have to get cheap resources and sell them in the cities of Arcorp Area 18 and Lorville, and not at the admin office but at the exchange transfers. You have to travel to these, and these worked in previous versions. So I thought to myself, well, we got now new stations, and it would be a really nice feature if these stations would buy the resources as well, and you would not have to land on the planets, which is always a kind of nuisance. And so I tried that out. In order to not go empty to the Hurston system, where I wanted to pick up some resources to sell, I picked up a few contracts and grim hacks and took them to the orphanage. The picture I got there, which shows the influx of the big trade stations in Lawville and in Area 18. I got from Reddit. I don't know the source, but I also got this nice little sheet here on Google Drive, which some real nice person linked on Reddit, and I'm gonna put the link in the description below. After my second visit to the orphanage, I decide to go to Ariel, to the mining station of HDMS Baztec, because I know they sell resources. I buy some tungsten for only half my funds. In case I lose it again, I still have half my funds. And as I said, I'm gonna try to sell it in the new station around Lawville, Everest Harbor. To make a long story short, Everest Harbor does not buy resources like the trade office in Arcorp or in Lawville. So I make my way down to the planet again and will go to the trade district to sell my tungsten. Nonetheless, but I have to compliment CIG on the stations. They really look marvelous from the outside and the inside. But I assume if Everest Harbor is not buying resources, the other new stations around planets won't be buying them as well. In Hurston on Tessa Spaceport, you take the train straight ahead, the commercial line, to the central business district. There you go, up the stairs, and then to the left there's the trade room. We take one console and then we sell our tungsten for a little bit of profit. Yeah, overall this was a really nice experience. If I had known what I was doing, perhaps I could my alpha UC per minute would improve, but it was fun after all, and it's also for demonstration purposes. At the end of my video, I wanted to show you some bugs which are in Star Citizen. You know, Star Citizen is still an alpha. These bugs range from funny to game breaking. Of course, here you can see NPCs standing in formation on various places, to a bit annoying. The altitude indicator stops working once you shut down the engines and you're falling down a planet. You can clearly see here I'm falling, and these resume working once you switch on the engines again. I bought the tungsten on HDMS Baztec, and it didn't show up as crates on my ship on Ariel. And as I landed later in Lawville on Hurston, you can see them. What was game breaking was first the phasing next to the door when I get up the ladder. You used to die when you enter the freelancer by side. This one is game breaking as well. I had to restart the client. When I restarted after being phased into the door, I woke up in the easy app of Everest Harbor. There I tried to take the elevators, which seemed to be the big bug of 3.8. The elevators here not working. I had to relock, and then it would work perfectly. I heard about people being stuck on Levski and not being able to leave because they wouldn't be able to get to their ships on the landing pads because of non-working elevators. What was also game breaking was these trains phasing into another on Tessa's spaceport. One arrived and clearly you could see the animation of opening the door, and when I tried to get in, I got, well, in the stuck one and couldn't leave. I also had to relog. Any contracts or any missions I would have taken would have been lost. Thank you for watching this video. I'm Lore24. Like and subscribe if you like what you've seen, and see you soon.